Great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at.
Yes, it's good morning, good evening, good afternoon, all of them in whichever order.
So whichever order, huh? Because we do know there are people all over. So I'm glad that you are here today. Again, once again, my name is Shyla Kidd. We have been in the NFT space for some time now, and we will continue to stay in the NFT space. And so, thank you all for hopping on with us. It's like I said, I know the market's down. Everybody looking, the market's down. This is opportunities as far as you have to make your own decision. So let's just get on the record, because we are not your financial advisors. So
That's right. Yeah, we're just here to try to help you, hopefully be able to navigate the space. But yes, always, we are definitely not your financial advisors, but we definitely hopefully give you some knowledge, to navigate and to be in the NFT space for long term. Even if the market is going down, we know there's ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster. So
yep, yep.
just
So
learn and give
you
yourself
see
some.
everybody, Jessica, everybody posting when the market's on the high. Everybody like, oh, look at this, look at this. It's like we're here no matter when the market's up, the market's down. It's just a matter, like I said, you just have to know how to strategize or in what to do during the times when the market's down. Again, I think for us, we always are looking at projects as far as what did we miss out on? Maybe not necessarily missed out, but you're gonna miss out on a lot in the NFT space. But which projects are still do you feel are going to be around in the long term? And those are the ones that will come back and circle around and say, oh, the market's down, and now it's time to buy some of those projects for the hopefully the next uptrend. So we're going to talk a little bit about that too, as far as on this training today, as far as how to start with, whether you have a certain amount of money, how you can start and how just visualize things, the possibilities of how you can earn more money in the space. So we'll talk about that a little later. As we're going on at pretty much close to the end, unless something comes up, we're like, well, let's talk about that now because it might be a good spot. so let me start sharing this stuff on screen. I got to turn over here and look at this screen. Got the right screen. Okay.
UFC
So
break.
UFC fight. Like I said, I can't hardly look at them. I'm telling you, I'd be trying. I just can't hardly watch it. It just the one hit, and I'm just ugh.
You can't watch UFC.
But it's crazy because look, remember I was in Africa looking at the animals, and it's like looking at animals, and it's like it's just different. But them hitting each other, I can't hardly watch it sometimes.
Watch it. You used to be able to watch boxing, huh?
Yeah,
That ain't
yeah,
as much as injury. They breaking toes and
they
feet.
breaking everything. So actually that's weird. But I know I just can't hardly look at it sometimes. It does something to me. But
I
you,
enjoy UFC.
yeah, but they are having a drop, and so I know this upcoming week. So for those of you who are looking, like I said, I look at a lot of these when we first started. Like we were at NBA Top Shop buying some of those cards and stuff. And like I said, sometimes they will start off a little bit slow. But if you're able to go on and buy some of those cards, like I said, independent, when you are buying these, it could be a longer term play. It could take some time for this particular drop to start picking up more. But when you start looking at it, it costs you $15 to try to buy a couple of packs here and there. Again, I'm not saying if it's your last money, you're looking for a quick flip, this might not be what you need to do.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah,
but go ahead,
yeah,
Jessica.
especially like with the UFC and it's their fan base isn't over here. Most people when we're investing in these projects, we know the mainstream of the fan base that they do have is generally not already even looking at NFTs. So it is a good time. Sometimes you can find some good cards, but like she also saying, it can be a long term hold because of that. But sometimes it can come in there. You can make money really quick just because of depending on the quantity of you see 675. Some of those can flip really fast for you, but also understanding that most of these marketplaces are so early with the following that they do have. Some of them have communities and they're built out. When those are usually able to strong, make it through the market, especially the bear markets. But some of them just it's still dwindling and it's still light of how many people are buying, or it's the same people. So just go in there with also when you are investing or wanting to buy some of these projects, knowing that these can be longer term plays, or some of them can be quick flips for you, just depending on what you are trying to do with your portfolio.
So again, I know everybody keeps talking about what all the projects are super high, and how do you get in some of the projects? It's like in the NFT space, at some point you have to have some capital. It's like it's not a matter, like I said, whether you're going to go on and maybe your dollar cost average. And I know we've done a training on that too, as far as trying to dollar cost average in on some of the projects, even if it's just buying some of the coins. And so there is somewhere for everyone to fit in as far as investing into the space. But sometimes it's a matter of, as far as some people may have to go on, you may have to buy coins, make some money on those, and then you can come back and buy some of the NFTs that you're looking to buy. But again, everything's going to have a risk when you're in this particular space. And it's just like whatever's happening in the world, it's going to affect every market. No different than the stock market. It can affect that the same way.
That's right. You got to learn, always take profit.
Yep. But well, again, we're not your financial advisor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't even matter if you sold and then it go up, and then at the same time you can sell and it can go down. So you do have to decide those moves for you.
Because that is a balance too, just when you think about it, as far as because everybody's always like, well, I want to sell when the market's at the top. It's like you really don't know when the market's at the top. I think when you're in the space, you have to have like your own strategy of what you're looking for capital wise. I mean, setting some goals to say, hey, maybe your capital is where this is what you need monthly. Maybe if you're going to start paying your car payment, how much is that to if you can make that monthly and take the pressure off of home. How much would that require? But I think everybody always has that high figure, like, well, I need to make $20,000 a month. Like, okay, yeah, it's possible. But how about let's just get us a basic starting point of like a car payment or a house payment. All of those things will definitely relieve a lot of pressure off of you if you can come in and make that kind of money, while you're in this particular space, because it's definitely possible. I know a lot of people that can tell you it's possible to make $1 gazillion in the NFT space. But at the same time, you have to understand that they did take some risk in what they were doing in buying some of the NFTs, or even just buying some of the cryptocurrencies. So everybody's got to have a balance. Everybody's have balance. Okay, but again, even when you're on UFC, remember, even as far as if you have some of the cards, go back to the marketplace, check the pricing of some of your cards, to see if it may be time for you to go on and sell some of those things. That's going to be, again, your preference of if it's time for you to sell. Check the marketplace as you're buying some of these cards. I mean, I know when they first come out, it seemed like sometimes when they first come out, that is one of the highest points of being able to get some money, because again, people who may not get those particular packs may want to come in and buy that particular card. So especially on these here, where they have a lower amount.
Yeah, like you're saying, the secondary usually is the best at that time, because especially if they have a certain count, then if it's 1,000 people trying to buy, those 400 people may still try to come over and buy on the secondary market. So you can usually, if you're looking to flip in and flip out at those times, because that volume is still coming in of people that didn't get the drop in that initial drop, coming into the secondary. So yeah, definitely different opportunity for you to make money. Or if you, like I said, if you're going to be long term, you're going to be long term. But it is your plan that you need to come up with, because it's your money. You know what you have to pay for. You know what you may be saving up for. If it's generational wealth you're looking for, it may be, like she's saying, just trying to take care of those monthly bills and those expenses. But it is your plan that you do need to come up with.
Yeah. Okay, so right now, and I just said to go to the marketplace. Marketplace is actually still closed right now. So whenever they are having the drop, on this particular site, or no different than NBA Top Shot, if they are having a particular drop, most of the time they close the marketplace while this drop is going. So 2,700 packs are still available. The 4,100 again. It could be a longer term play for you. But as far as some of the people who have different capital, again, this may be where you may have to start in regards to being able to buy some of the smaller items, and then possibly trying to figure out how to double your money. But I would say, let me just say this. I know I'm saying this a lot. Some people who are coming in buying them for $15 and they're like, well, I can only sell it for $30. Like, I don't know if you realize it's still a double of your money. But you do get spoiled in the NFT space, because I think it happens to everybody. You're like, well, I want to pay $15 and I want it to start something that I buy to go up to $1,000, because someone else, 100x. Somebody else told you that it's supposed to go to $1,000 per card. But it's just we just get a cutoff sometime in our brain that making double your money is like the worst thing in the world. And it's like, yeah, everybody wants to hit a home run when you're in the space, but get started somewhere as far as being able to make your capital. And if like if you learn how to not be greedy while you're in the space, then you'll do very well. It's when you start becoming very greedy and like I said, you want to buy a pack of cards for $15 and you want it instantly to go to a $1,000 or $15,000. So is it possible? Yes, it is possible. So that's going to be that. But and I'll just skip over to this one because this is one of the ones that it makes you feel like it should go to. This is again on be on VV. This is the VV drop, that they've been having, and that they had last week. And so again, when you're looking at projects like this where people went in and paid $20 for to try to buy this comic book, but the low on some of those comic books that if you paid $20 for when I checked last week was like $800, and then the higher end one was almost $16,000. So there is that disconnect because you have projects that sometimes come out like this when you can get in on some of these projects and you can do very well. It's a part of it. It's,
Especially the scarcity, depending on how many the quantity is. You see, there's only going to be 10,000, and then you still have secret rare in there. So it came out probably doing pretty good because quantity counts were going up to like 30, 40, 50,000. But when they are able to do those lower quantity counts, they usually do sell better. So we know it was frustrating sometimes to try to get the drops. I haven't tried myself in quite some times, but as you can see, like she's saying, $20, and then to go up that high, if you did want to sell it, it's something that you can do. But if you also want to hold on to it, that's what you can do. We've learned a lot in the space. So if you usually can't get multiple of these items, which we would always say, get multiples, and so you can sell up along the way and you'll be okay. But on these ones, we know it is a little more challenging to get multiples on VV. They got a lot of issues with bots, but I think they may have them out. But if you can try to, if $20, you can attempt to do that. And like she said, $800 or $16,000 the next week or that same week is life changing. So.
Yeah. And so I just wanted to show this. So for new people, if you're on looking, this is actually VV. So this is the site we're actually talking about. Like I said, and I think this is again for someone who's new. And now if you're savvy and you know how to go do your research and you know how to go buy all of the crypto or buy NFTs and all those different things, fine, no problem. This is not for you. You don't have to. You can do it. You don't have to do it. But for the new people, again, these are ways that you can start without having to go on have crypto. You can literally use your debit card and buy the gems. Using your debit cards, you can buy that in their marketplace to be able to try to participate in some of these drops. So it is a little easier process. And then I think there was when they were having one of these drops last week, I literally told one of the groups, the classes that we were on, because the next drop that was happening after the Spider-Man drop, the comic book one, was I think it was this drop here, if I remember correctly, it was this one. And I was like, hey, be on the lookout because this one has 20,000 in this particular drop that they're doing, which again, it brings the price down on those items. So, knowing those things as far as how the price can adjust and how the prices may come down, that's going to be important to know. Maybe there was one of these drops that had 20,000 right here. So it did have 20,000. So again, those ones that have 20,000 items in them, they might their price of those because there's more of those items that it could bring those down. So just always be aware of those different things. You are participating in some of these drops for the new people. But again, when you're coming on and maybe you don't have enough capital to get started, here's another idea. How do you really, like I said, maybe you don't get one. Maybe you do. Maybe you get the right one as far as getting a secret rare. It can catapult you in regards to the space. Okay. Just I don't know if there's anything else I said. I know I was talking about.
That was good.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, so we got UFC. All right.
Oh, same thing, Mythical Games. Another Blanco is going to be coming out. Some of us have been collecting this since like founders, and some people even before that. So there are still items coming out. We do know they're supposed to be launching on the Epic Game Store to hopefully bring some more people into the space that can see it and buy it straight from that storefront. And so, as you see, there will be only 500 available. They are trying to keep the counts lower, especially because sometimes in these spaces, it's a lot of people buying from the same, that's invested in the project, that's buying in the market. So it's once we can get more mainstream people in, a lot of these prices and stuff may begin to move. But that can be some time from now. I don't know. It can be months. It can be years. It just depends. But gaming will be one of the ways that, it brings a lot of people on board with NFTs, especially when they're able to own their assets, able to own their skins, able to resell those because they're also collectors items. And so this one will be coming out for $34.99, or you can buy the Blanco Blunks. Sometimes you get more Blanco Bucks if you just go ahead and buy them within the store because they give you extras for purchasing those. And so it is. You see, there's also going to be like 4 per holder. But yeah, the count is lower. Like I said, it does have to be. I went in the game the other day or whatever, but it is, not too many people in there just yet. But it's the game is still, and the Mythical themselves are going to be in this space for quite some time. And so once they do get that onboarding of mainstream people finding out about the benefit to even playing these games, you will see some type of movement. But for right now, you will see a lot of fluctuation of ups and down in the prices just because, like I said, it's the same circle of people that are buying from each other right now. And so if you do want to come in, if $34.99 is something that you want to risk in taking and getting a mint, maybe even a lower mint, or even if it's a 500 count mint, it's still a lot low when you see that thousands of people, if not millions of people, generally will play games when they are of good quality. And because we do know, hopefully they are going to be going into some other ecosystem or other game systems. Hopefully they'll be able to go to, maybe some Switches, some PlayStations or other games, because some of the deals that they have, even maybe the handheld games.
Yeah.
So we are still holding on to the Blancos, haven't really sold any. We know Burberry and other Marathon clothing and stuff are coming to them. So it is an opportunity if you do want to own one of those items, maybe the artist you like, you can do it. But it is only going to be $34.99 and a total of 500 of those.
You'd be like, somebody's kid down the line is going to want this one, and there's only going to be 500.
That's right.
Will I be selling to your kid, or will you be selling to somebody else's kid?
Right. Right, because the other side of the collector's edition. So and that's why a lot of times we don't unbox them because of that. And so serial numbers matter, especially when people come into spaces. We know collector's items also matter, but it will depend on who's behind the project. Mythical Studios has been raising money for quite some time. They have some other games and things that they're doing, NFL rivals. So definitely just still watching them as they're building in this space.
So good stuff. Good. So that put that on your calendar. I think everybody always thinks like, I don't want to create a calendar, man. If you don't put something on your calendar, you're more than likely gonna miss some drops, and you don't want to be that person like, dog, I missed that drop, and that was the one that was going to be great, because sometimes it's hard to get over that hump after you've missed a big drop. So if any of these are that you like, or once you get consistently good with one of them, like I said, I think just and I know I'm on talking about something else. I think some people think that you have to buy so many different NFTs. You have to buy so many different whatever in the space, and it's really not. I mean, granted, you do want to diversify. I'm not saying that you don't want to diversify, but when you consistently get something that's winning, or you get a pattern of something that you're doing, I said maybe it's something participating in VV or Blancos, or I don't care, whatever it is. But if you can consistently say, hey, my goal is to go on here, buy this, if they have a drop every month, and I can possibly make XYZ amount of money, then that's what you keep doing. It's like, why keep trying to create another new thing? I'm not saying that you can still definitely keep your eyes open for other things, but at the same time, if you can consistently get that, that's the for sure stuff that you want to take advantage of and start doing very well when you're in the space.
Definitely, like you say, they can be buying more things, but they also need to be selective on what they're purchasing, looking for the teams that's behind them, looking for the community, the utility. Some things don't have to have that utility, but some things do. So being more selective and picky too, at some point, if you're just buy any project, I'm telling you, you're getting like a cemetery of pets and stuff. So,
you did not say
they
cemetery.
are. Like I'm telling you, do not keep going down that rabbit hole. Find projects are still building in the space, even through the bear markets. Like you literally before, if you were on Twitter, there was so much going on in the previous months, but now there's not too much of anything going on. And I know a lot of people are also getting scared because some people are stepping in and putting up claims, or courts and judges are letting certain people be served by serving them through NFTs. And so a lot of regulations on some parts of things are coming in. So it may have scared off a lot of the scammers because you don't nearly see as many projects coming up daily or weekly anymore. So it's good for the space, truthfully, because a lot of new people that were coming in were getting scammed, and people that haven't been in the space were getting scammed. So it's a lot of great opportunity that you see. well, not from the scam, but you can
Yeah.
find opportunity in this space, but you don't want to be getting scammed and buying items because even like OpenSea, this article they red flagged it and it show it on the on the history of the item, but still people would just literally go to another platform and not sell it on OpenSea. So that's it was really no way for you to recoup any of your funds or get anything back in a sense. So they are trying to put some things in place, especially like I said, they've been going through some legality or some suits themselves. We'll kind of see what the outcome of some of those things will be because it would also, make put some things in perspective to how things are actually going to operate when you do have items that are stole from you. They tell you, your wallet is your wallet, it is your fault, and because it's not regulated right now, that's very true.
Mhm.
We have people losing bored apes and clone
Yeah.
X's and six-figure items, especially when they are up at their higher points. So definitely when you see them like trying to do stuff like this, a lot of people have been upset and they were taking their money elsewhere. And for OpenSea, they were making like millions and billions of dollars, like just for
Yeah.
no reason. I mean, just because they're early in the space, and so other people are now trying to get a piece of that. But it's good to see that they're doing more to try to combat the things that's going on with the theft. It's MetaMask has did some things also, but we'll see how it does go. Hopefully, it turns out pretty good for those that maybe have some issues and had some stuff stolen from them in the past.
Mhm. Like I said, I think that again, that comes back to the importance of of trying your best to be educated. And again, not to say we know everything. It's not that at all. But it's a matter like for us, we're still always trying to keep getting educated. Finding out what's the next thing, reading the articles, finding out all those different things to try to keep yourself as secure as possible. It is. I mean, I don't even want to imagine. But when you start, like I said, when you start seeing people who are losing six-figure items, that hurts. I mean, you're like, wow, that's crazy. I mean, if you lost on this $500, if you lose anything, it's a bad feeling because again, there's really no recovery. Yeah, granted, you can do the police reports, but how do they try? I mean, where they gonna go find the person at? It's like, okay, yeah, they can flag it. Like I said, if someone's taking it to another platform and selling it, now the next person who bought it, how are you going to flag them, or how are you? That process is where it gets real sticky because the next person paid for the item also. And so that's a hard thing. And unless there's going to be something as far as where it can go across the board of that particular item saying, hey, you know what, it's been flagged. But if you can take it from one platform and then it's not flagged on another platform, that's what people will do. Scammers, trust me, scammers already know that. they're not sitting there trying to figure out, well, what platform can I take it to? They're not doing that process. They already know if I steal it here, I can go sell it here real quick, get my money, do whatever they need to do with that wallet, and they're on to the next one, the next steal. And so unless there's a better system, but when it happens so fast to most people, as far as if you're getting scammed, it's a hard one. It is really a hard one. And again, I just think it's important as far as you trying to make sure you're educated as much as possible. And again, there's no 100% proof for anyone to say, because like even for us, just we're sitting there like, what do we not click on now? What do we not touch? What do we not do?
And
What
I
do we
don't
click
click on
on?
nothing and not touch nothing. So
Yeah,
emails or anything, I don't care about none of that. It's
yeah.
true.
I
Yeah, I
get
don't
all
click
the
on
different emails.
nothing.
I'm like, I don't even care. What did I win? I
Yeah,
don't even think I won. In fact, like I know I
that's
didn't
right.
win, but
And if
for what?
you click on it not within your wallet and in your dApps or something, because there's some things you have to connect to and approve. But so they got so good, even with these emails and stuff that they try to have you touch. I'd be like, I ain't clicking on nothing. They got
It's not enough.
spyware, malware, every device is covered and protected. Like I'm just
Yeah,
so yeah, like it's important to do that too, like making sure your devices are up to date with any type of software or security that you are using. If that's computer, if that's phones, at least something can alert you. If it's Norton 360, if it's McAfee, whatever it is that you choose to have, it's good to have that and have because people can get through your computers if you don't lock your wallets and stuff, and they're staying active on your computers. And someone hacks your computer and your wallet is actively live. There's just too many things that can happen in this space with people that know how to operate with smart contracts or even just operate on computers. And we know in this world, there's a lot of people that are in those spaces, and some people are just taking advantage of people that don't know, those things, especially when it comes to smart contracts and even approving stuff. So just definitely be due diligent in the things that you're doing, the things that you're connected to, the sites you have, your software, keeping things up to date, locking your wallets, everything like that is really important. And not believing anything that you want in Discord.
yeah.
Those are really important
You don't
things.
want nothing in Discord.
Yeah, just
No, don't be the person. Yeah. Okay, so that's the stuff. Okay.
oh yeah, some more information. They've been talking a little bit more about the CryptoPunk and Meebix holder can now use their NFTs for commercial projects. And see, that's just more the opportunity of why we like being into the NFT space, the Web3, the blockchain, all of that. That's just when you are able to now buy assets where you will be able to commercialize them. You own the IPs to those assets. You can create business opportunities from those assets. Use them in marketing, whatever else that you want to do. Allow someone else to use them because maybe that project is successful. There's just so much opportunity that you can do now with making money, and so CryptoPunks and the Meebits will be able to do that. CryptoPunks was doing better than Meebits. Meebits kind of been really quiet.
Man,
I think they've been doing stuff probably maybe in the background.
it's way in the background.
Oh man, they were doing stuff silently.
Because I'm like, I was close multiple times to selling them me bits. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm gonna hold on again. I'm holding on again. But it is good to see that this has now been released for the IP. Because
Yeah.
man, I'm just like maybe the longer the wait is going to pay off. Is what I'm hoping for.
That part.
But
Yeah, and you see some other people like the Seth Green. He had got his Bored Ape stolen. Then they got it returned and stuff. He did pay some money for it to get returned, but it did get returned. Especially when you had that Bored Ape connected to your shows and brands, and you were ready to launch and get going. That would have been devastating. So he did get that back. And like you see, some people that's in this space that maybe already have a name because they're an actor may be able to launch the Bored Ape out there. But if you also have a Bored Ape, you mix your business in whatever with whatever they're doing, or because they made their Bored Ape successful, it can very much benefit and help you depending on what you do create. So it's definitely a lot of opportunity. Glad to see some people are still, creating these shows. You do have the actors and stuff that have been coming to this space, even like Snoop Dogg want to do fashion line from his Bored Ape and stuff. And so if you have a name already for yourself and you already have a following and a base, and they can come in here and buy certain assets and then have the IPs behind them, it's a no-brainer for a lot of those people that are already established in this space, especially celebrities that can come in and do it right and not just hype it up and be gone next day.
I cannot do a cash grab and leave.
Yeah, so I'd be like, did they do anything else after that? No.
Like,
They went to a different chain and launched something else. And never came back to make sure anything was successful or pushing forward. So yeah, you do have to watch for select celebrities out there. There's an article out there with all the names that you can see of people that bad. So yeah, but definitely IPs and the commercial rights, that's something really important in this space, and that's something that sets you aside from anything that you invest in to have those opportunities. So some people are going to be early in buying and investing in those things and creating their brands, and some people, they'll be still have those opportunities later, but the ones that are stepping up and doing it now, they're going to be far ahead of the game.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, it's just so early. And like I said, you have to have a bigger vision when you are trying to figure out how can you use your things and monetize them. But it's just early, and I'm okay with being early because I think again the people who are early in the space, again, you may have to wait a little longer for, like I said, as more and more people are trying to come into the NFT space. But once they're here, if you've been working on some things, I definitely feel like you're definitely going to be rewarded in the long run of investing in some of these projects. Will there be other things that's going to come out? Absolutely. It's no different in life. I think that there'll be some other things that'll come out that you still can be a part of. But some of these, again, already have done the legwork for you as far as, hey, here's opportunities that are already available for you in this particular space, and just capitalize on those. It's going to be very, very important. But yeah, well, let's go, Meebits. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh man.
So, all right. And now the blue chips. I know everyone keeps talking about, with the market being down. It's again, I think it's important with how your perception of how you're looking at it. Is market down and this is an opportunity for you? For new people, it's like, I'd be like, if you're new right now, this is your opportunity to say, even with the crypto aspect of saying, hey, you know what? I can get some crypto at this particular price. It is the opportunity that you probably have been waiting for, because remember last year thinking like, well, I can't buy this because it's $50,000, $60,000. But I think everybody, even when that happens, everybody still gets scared at the next time. It's like, okay, well, was it $60,000 and now it's down to $20,000, and you're still saying, well, I'm still scared. It's like, at what point do you want to pull the trigger? And so, and most people won't pull the trigger. It's a matter, like I said, they'll let it go back up to $60,000, and then they'll be like, well, maybe I should go ahead and buy. And it makes no sense.
That's right.
So
And then even to like add to that, a lot of people are even hold because the fact that depending on when they got in that space, they may have gotten airdrops, and so they're just riding the market out with things,
yeah.
and especially those that are behind certain projects that they're going to continue to build. They may have already been signed to certain brands, and so especially with that, people are holding stronger, or are they just waiting for the next bit of news because they know. Some projects you really bet on, or some projects you really feel like you're part of in the community, or you really do have a full understanding of what they're trying to do and you see the vision. And so you stick with those projects, and you don't want to go anywhere, especially in these markets when you see mostly projects, 99% of projects are failing. You do have some that are, of course, still up there and still competing in the market, but lots of times you'll see a lot of those projects are actually gone. And so finding those projects that you really truly believe in and you hold on to those, not to say everything, because believe me, you will have to probably maybe sell along the way, especially if you're going through bear markets. If you haven't pulled profit or did things like that, you may have to sell along the way, but you're still not at a loss, because depending on when you got that item, it could have been an airdrop item or an item that you had to pay because you bought it in another bear market at a different time. You could have still be up right now. So it just does depend on the project, but knowing when to sell and when to hold on to some of those items, especially some of those projects that are, building to be in this space for the long term, is sometimes a challenge, especially if you're trying to only sell at the top. But making sure, like I say, if you can pull profit along the way and still have those items, it's important to do those things.
Yeah. And that's just, I mean, it goes back to it being very interesting as far as, people who are in the space. It's just that amount of money that you think that you've seen that $60,000, you've seen that $50,000 on that particular item, and then to see it come down, it's like, okay, well, you had an opportunity to sell it. You saw the number because you were posting about it. And so they be like, well, I saw the number at this amount. Yeah, you did. Did you pull the trigger? It's each person's decision as far as if you're going to sell, if you're not going to sell. Your strategy may be different than my strategy. So that's why we always say, hey, listen, you don't necessarily have to do what we're doing. Because again, we've said it many times. For us, we are more of a long term. We do our stuff long term. For one, whether like I said, we're not your CPA, but we do have CPA. So it's a matter of, like I said, if you have a strategy of what you can sell, what you cannot sell, or if you need to sell. If you don't need to sell, then again, that's just going to be a personal preference. But I think everybody in the space, because again, everything is new. You do need to make some wise decisions as far as what you're going to keep. If you need to pull capital out, how you're pulling the capital out, and all those different things. But again, make sure you're double checking with your CPA and people as far as how you need to do yours, because that's going to be very important if you're in this space, because there is opportunity, should I say, again.
That's right.
Okay, and I know here again, talking about the metaverse, just some data for the metaverse aspect. It's just a matter, again, where you're going to have to figure out which one of the metaverse things, because again, everybody with the coin, everybody with a project now is saying that they have a metaverse. So you deciding which ones you want to invest in, whether it's going to be a long-term scenario that you're going to be holding some of those, your metaverse land, or if you're just simply like, hey, you know what, I want some metaverse land, and maybe you're a flipper. Again, the market's down. Again, do your research on the metaverse lands, figure out which ones you may like, and then you buy accordingly. And that's the opportunity where you say, okay, from the scenario we're going to show you in a minute here, as far as how do you capitalize and make additional funds from that. But I think that's important.
Yes, definitely.
So don't be going full throttle in. When you're, and I think we've said that many times. When you're in this particular space, you should never just be going full throttle in. It shouldn't be like, hey, I'm going instantly. If I have $500, $1,000, or $10,000, whatever the number's going to be. It's not like you go straight in. If you have $1,000, you shouldn't instantly just come in and buy everything up for the whole $1,000, especially if you're talking about the same item. If you're buying multiple items, then I'm not here to tell you how to do that. But if you're just going in and let's say you're buying one of these metaverse type lands, and I don't even know if you can buy any for $1,000, but I'm just giving you a scenario. If you could buy multiples for $1,000, I wouldn't spend my whole $1,000 on buying all of them at the same time. it's just like in case the market, the crypto market drops down, at least you can buy some more of that particular item for a little less money. Okay, so it'll be very important. All right, Jeff, anything else on that you want to add on that?
Nope, that sounds good.
Okay. All right, so again, we'll just kind of take a look too, as far as the market for the day. I don't know if I need to refresh this screen. Just crypto in general, has that's the numbers of where it's currently at right now, literally. So again, you will see some red in the particular space. Again, if you look at it as this is an opportunity for you to try to figure out where you can buy in on some of these coins that you may like, and how do you dollar cost average on that? Dollar cost averaging on some of those. How do you dollar cost average in on some of those NFTs that maybe you can't buy that particular NFT, but maybe you can literally go on and did that just refresh like that late? It took that long. maybe you dollar cost average in on some of the NFTs that are out there on some of their tokens. Such as Sand. You have a lot of different coins that you can go on. Mana from Decentraland. You can buy some of those coins if you want to. If you don't have the capital to go in and buy those particular NFTs. Okay, so that's that. All right, and let's go. I said we would share this one item idea with you guys too. And again, this is something a lot of people we know have started doing things like this. And like I said, there's no right or wrong way as far as how much capital you may have, how long it may take you to get to the bottom of the chart. But this is one of those scenarios again, as far as you're trying to go on to if you're new and you're like, well, hey, I need something to try to figure out. If your number is not $500, just put whatever number you want up here. I don't care what number you put up here. But the goal is to try to figure out something you can go into, and then you can double your money on a particular NFT. Again, it will take you time to research some of those things, and it's not like it's going to be something that may happen instantly overnight. But what if it's something that you could do? You could do this if you just did this every month. Okay, how would that change things for you? If you could go in and put $500 and then make that into $1,000 for the month. That's an additional $500 that you have. But the process, the visual that we were trying to give you as far as is like, even when you're doing this, now that just gives you two more items. You kind of, again, like we've been talking about, splitting that money up. So again, you're going to split the money up as far as, if you've gone in, you've been able to double it. Now you come back and now you're able to do the same process again, but now you can buy two things, and you can see how you can end up getting that, what we call the snowball effect. I think that's important. Just know if you have anything you want to add on that part.
Oh no, yeah, that's it. Like you said, that's very important. That starting point, especially not looking to just looking to build capital up so they can reinvest it in maybe some more products they want to do, or just keep the money. It's just depending on the plan. But this, no matter what, is showing you the possibilities. If you are coming in, you're investing in the right projects, you're able to sell them. Just looking to double and looking at the double way, not the 10x or I got 100x something. You're still able to accumulate money and make money along the way. So it's important not to think to just come into this space and think about, oh, I'm going to 100x some items or anything like that. You want to come in the space, initially invest what you can initially invest, and just looking to double that along the way is important. So even if it was 200, if it was 1,000, depending on how much you are making, it's important to do that. And add this to, of course, everything that you've been taught, everything that we've been trying to teach you along the way about how you can research those projects, making sure to invest in the right projects. Everything is still a risk, of course, right now. But if you are investing in those projects that have the right team that that can build the actual things that they say they're going to do and are on track to try to do those things, then, it's better to look into those projects, not just looking into projects that are dropping daily with no real plan, or better yet, they all have the same plan. It looks the same way. And there's just usually someone that's not going to be even looking to build out the project, but just more so take your money. So definitely, this is a great idea to put your own number there, like she said, and just be looking to even just double, nothing major. Double is still good in the crypto space. Like you said, it may not seem like a lot, but as you can see still in this chart, if you even did that 500 would have easily been a $4,000 that you could still be up and have.
And I think even when you're talking about this, like I said, this is just an example. Again, not to say that everything's going to end up to where you can double your money, but when you really start making realistic goals, as far as again, it could really be very helpful for a lot of people. Really, as far as hey, I can now pay this. This could be gas money. Let's be realistic with the gas. How is gas? This could be your gas money. Now that we have this crazy gas price, and we're in California, so we have seen the crazy. No, we probably haven't seen the craziest in the world, but we have seen some crazy numbers in California. And so, but this again, I said, start small. Is it great to think that you can buy into a particular project? Because when you look at some of these projects that are out there, and if you're investing in some of the right projects, this for investing $500 could easily turn into thousands of dollars. I mean, if you look at it, I know we've talked about artifacts before. If you own some of the artifacts items, this plan would be like blown out of the water. Just if you own some of the items before and you happen to get the Clonexes that were $300. Okay, so the ones that were $300, when we were in the peak, some of those depending on which one you have, they could have easily been six figure. But even at the higher peak, when the lowest of the basic models for the ones that were paid $300 was almost $50,000 or $60,000. So you see how this $500 again for investing in some of the right products. And again, that I know that's not a fair thing to show you, because again, that was one as far as you had to have one of their previous items in order to get that particular item for $300. But just trying to give you a visual of how fast this can really change when you're looking at these things. Buying some items, again, it's like I said, as far as if you're looking at certain NFT projects that are out there that may be doing very well. Again, you may be able to mint. And I'm trying to say for the new people too, I'm trying to give the new terminology. So minting simply means being able to buy something at the lowest, most time at the lowest price, unless there's like a pre-mint. But minting is normally one of the lowest prices that you're going to be able to get an item from, for. And so, again, going on and buying those items again, whether it's $200 or whether it's $500, and those items potentially being able to turn into thousands of dollars. What was the item that was free? I was one of the ones that recently came out. I don't know how it's doing. It was an ugly little, them little creatures.
Wait, which project are we talking about?
It was a free creature project. Remember, Maxie had looked at it sometime. She looked at it multiple times, and it kept moving up. But it was a free mint. I can't remember what the doggone name of it was.
I'm trying to think of free creature.
I know. It's like what?
That's what you gave me. Yeah,
projects that out there. I don't remember the name of it, so I'm just gonna say I cannot remember the name. Honestly, I cannot remember the name. But some of the projects, where you're able to go on and mint for a couple $100 that end up doing very well. And that's why I think, as far as flippers, I commend you if you can flip. That is your gift. I'm not trying to do the flipping aspect, but some people are very good at the flipping aspect, where again they have that consistent strategy of, hey, I'm gonna buy it at $100 and I'm gonna sell it for $200. Again, that's their strategy. Again, their tax CPA day, whoever they've talked to, that I'm fine with that. But if you're in the space, the potential of being able to blow this number out of the water. I mean, you hypothetically look at some of these scenarios where you can come in, and if you can get an item and you're able to sell them for $5,000, now you see that puts you all the way down here. You can even put $1,000 in your pocket and still have 4 more new projects that you could go invest up to $1,000 in. Or you do the same scenario again. Now you got 10 projects. If you had the $5,000, you got 10 projects that you can potentially start doing this same charting with, in order to keep growing your portfolio, keep growing your money, and keep doing those things. But again, it is a scenario where, like I said, just want to show you this visually, so you can kind of see the potential that's out there. Again, if you're, like Jessica said, if your number is a lower number, maybe your number's half of this number. Maybe it's $100. That means, again, you're going to have to do more research and find some projects where you can make some money like that. But it's still the same potential as you're in this space. It happens that fast when you're in the right projects. It literally can happen that fast. So wanted to share that. Just, I don't know if there's anything else that I missed on talking about this.
Oh no, everything is covered and good on that. Yeah.
Good. Okay, so hopefully this was to screenshot it. We don't care about the screenshot. Screenshot if you need the screenshot. Again, you use this for yourself, as far as what you can do for your portfolio and how you want to continue to grow your portfolio in the NFT space. Because again, we're as I said, Twitter is like silent some days. It's like, are there anybody out there still in
Yeah,
NFT?
ain't nothing going on.
It used to be like Twitter Spaces, like all day, every day,
All
like
day long, every day.
4 hours, and talking about on Twitter. Now you're like, where is anybody having any Twitter Spaces anymore? You have to be able to stick around even when it's bad, as far as with the space. Again, that's as far as knowing when you may want to sell something, knowing if you have enough capital in reserve, because again, maybe you're not holding every single item that you have. You have enough capital to be able to weather the storms, or to have enough capital, especially when the dip down, so that you can buy. That's going to be more important, that you maintain some capital in case crypto dips down, which it will do like all the time. You can't never be like, it's gonna stay up forever. No, because somebody gonna tweet something, somebody gonna say something, and then or the government's gonna come out with something. Yeah, government's gonna come out with some new regulation that you can't do something. So again, just wanted to share this with you all. Hopefully, you guys can implement some of these steps again, as far as how you're going to do it. Again, make sure you're checking with your own CPA as far as the tax, as far as you getting in and flipping, and how does that look for you personally. You need to know those things when you're going to be in this particular space, because the worst thing you want to do is come in and start doing all of these flips and then find out, oh my God, I got all this money that I got to pay in taxes and I haven't been holding any money. So keep that that strategy, as far as how you're going to do yours, how you're going to set your money to the side, and that's another way for you to do it, especially if you're new. Okay. All right. So that's that. Okay, so once really that is really everything that we really wanted to cover today. Really, just trying to tell you guys, we're still going to be in the NFT space. We're still doing our monthly subscription membership that we have with the for NFTs. That is just, again, we have the free aspect, and then we also have a paid aspect for our STN membership. We meet once a week with our group. And then really trying to stay up to date, as far as what's literally happening in the space. What can you literally go on and look to buy? What's down currently? As far as we'll have graphs, we'll have charts as far as, hey, these are the items that we're looking to still accumulate while the market's down. Again, it's a personal thing for us of what we're looking for. Doesn't mean it has to be something that you're looking for. But again, we definitely can share those things with you all in that aspect. And if you do have any friends or family, remember that we will always have our free group, whatsnfts.com. That's our free Facebook group, whatsnfts.com. Send any of your friends and family there to go on and listen to what we're talking about there. Okay, so I think that is everything we have. I think Majesty's put the subscription in there. Thank you, Majesty. And then for those of you who are new to, we definitely will start trying to do a little bit more training too. I'm going to probably do a free training tonight in regards to just crypto. If you have people who are out there looking to get into crypto, if they have no idea about crypto, we'll probably be posting it on our Facebook group. We'll do a little bit of free training on that, because again, we need to get more people who are in the space. We also need to try to see if we can get people who are educated and get into space. We don't want them to come in and get right back out. Okay, so a couple things as far as that. Other thing on YouTube, we do have tons of videos on our YouTube channel. Tons of video on our YouTube channel that you all can go on and watch any of the previous recordings that we've done. Okay. Again, Jessica, I don't know if I have talked for a long time. I don't know if you got anything else. Or
no, I ain't saying nothing. She got it.
I got it. Okay.
No.
All right. So make sure you stay educated. Make sure you're continuing to find out, what other projects that are out there that you want to invest in, because again, there's opportunity in the space, but do your research on those opportunities so that you know what you're buying. And again, we love the NFT space. We're not going anywhere from the NFT space, even in the bear market. Y'all see, we have consistently been on even in the bear market. Again, we're looking at it as an opportunity versus looking at it as something that's negative for us. Okay, so you all have a fantastic rest of your day. We will see you all again next week. And again, we'll put some more notifications out when we're going to be trying to just give some more free information to you all in regards to NFTs and crypto. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day.
Yes, everybody have a great one.